Okay, you guys, I am going to show you my cold protocol, my cold and flu protocol. As we're entering into the season, I want to show you what I am personally doing. At the time of this video, if my body's fighting something, I'm going to show you exactly what I have been doing, and we're specifically going to dive into fasting, of course. Should you fast? Should you not fast? I'm going to answer that on this video. Okay, you guys, we are coming upon flu season, and we've been getting a lot of questions from you on should you fast when you've got a cold or when you've got a flu. And this week I was actually having a meeting with my virtual team, and as we were meeting I was sneezing and coughing, and they were all like, oh, you need to go and do a video on what you personally do. How do I personally address when I've got a cold? So that's what this video is about, is I want to show you the protocol that I use on myself, the protocols that I use with my patients, and when I lean into fasting and when I don't. So, and then I'll show you some of my supplement protocols that I like that work incredibly well. So let me start off, and I wrote some things down because I don't want to miss any of the little really important details. I think whenever you're not feeling well, the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, why am I sick? And in my opinion, there's really two reasons the human body creates an immune response. One is it's been exposed to some new flu virus, some new bacteria, something, maybe you're exposed to mold, something new in its environment, and the immune system is unfamiliar with that thing, so it creates a massive immune response to get it out of you. In this scenario, in that immune response, what's happening, like for me right now, I've got my sinuses are draining, creating mucus. I've been coughing, I've been sneezing. You get water out your eyes. Sometimes you get congestion in your chest. All of that is a really positive, good immune response. So if you've been used to taking antihistamines, you've been used to trying to kill that immune response to make yourself feel better, sometimes that's not the smartest thing to do, because what you want to do is help assist your immune system. And that's what I'm going to show you, how the tricks that I use to help assist my immune system. Then there's the person who gets sick all the time because they're just depleted and their immune system is overworked, and they have been, not sleeping, they've been stressed out, they're not eating right. With that person, in that immune response, you really have to look at your whole lifestyle and ask yourself, what can I do to regenerate my energy? What can I do to bring my body up? In my scenario, it's the first one. I got exposed to something that my immune system was unfamiliar with, and so I'm having a full-on immune response. So I'll kind of explain with those two scenarios, you are going to lean into fasting a little different. So the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, why am I sick? Am I depleted? Or is this maybe just something new my immune system's working with? Second thing, then you're going to ask yourself, are you going to fast? Will fasting help, or will fasting not help? If you are one of those people where you are really worn down and you are really depleted and you are working too many hours and you have too much stress and you're not sleeping, this is the person who I would not encourage you to fast with your cold. I do not think that's going to be of help for you. You're already depleted. So now if you intuitively are fasting because you're not hungry and it just seems like it'll be easy, then yes, remember that your body only has so much healing energy, and every time we eat, it takes so much energy from our body to eat. So it robs that energy from your immune system. But if you're already depleted, I don't want to see you launch into a 3-day block fast or launch into a 1 meal a day scenario if that is not what your body is craving. If your body's craving it in the depleted scenario, fine, then that would be okay. In the scenario like mine, where I'm just got exposed to something that's new in my environment, then that's where fasting works really well. So what I've been doing is 1 meal a day. It's fast training week, so it's been easy to do 1 meal a day. Sometimes what I'll do is if I get home and it's Like this week, today it's the afternoon, and if I get home I'm not hungry, I won't eat tonight. I listen to my body, and I try to lean into the fact that fasting can really accelerate the immune process in a positive way. So if you just got exposed to something and you feel like fasting as well, or even if you don't, you may look at these longer fasts as a tool to speed up the healing process. If you're really depleted, then I would, and you don't feel like fasting, please don't do that. The other thing I'll tell you is that this is where some bone broth fasting can be good, because the broths can be healing. But you really want to tap into, how do I feel? Do I feel like fasting? Do I not feel like fasting? So remember, animals do this. This is what animals do when they when they're not feeling well, is they don't eat. How do you know when your dog's not feeling well? Is all of a sudden your dog stops eating and you go, oh wait, I think you're not feeling well because they're not eating. So it's really, you can never go wrong with fasting when you have a cold. And the longer you fast, if you feel like you're not in that depletion state, the longer you fast, the more helpful it's going to be. Okay, so that's the answer to the fasting question. Now, the third piece of this is, what can I do? The question to ask yourself is, what do I do, or what can I do to boost my immune system? What kind of tools do I have at my disposal? Well, I'll tell you one of the best tools, and this is something that I've trained my patients to understand, is that after a chiropractic adjustment, you have a 200 times stronger immune system. This was a study that was done decades ago, where they found within an hour after a chiropractic adjustment, your white blood cell count goes up, your CD4 cell count goes up, your tumor marker cells go up. So if you have a chiropractor, go see your chiropractor when you're not feeling well. It's an incredible way to get a boost of immunity post-adjustment. I had this experience 2 days ago. I got adjusted and I could just feel my whole immune system shift and change, and my path on the cold was definitely heading in a more positive direction. The second thing you can ask yourself is, what supplements do I have that will, again, assist my immune system? So I'll show you some of my favorite supplements that I use. I've talked about this on other videos, but I'll kind of show you, this is the routine that I've been using on myself this week. The first thing to think about is DV3, or vitamin D. When we're low in vitamin D, we're more prone to infection. So if you know you haven't been out in the sun, or you've been inside a lot, and you know you were around somebody who is sick and then you got sick, that's a good sign you're going to need some vitamin D. So DV3 is my favorite by Systemic. We'll put it in the notes for you. The other thing that I use when I'm not feeling well, and this is like magic. I've been using this product for like decades, like 20 years now. It's called Lauricidin. And Lauricidin is a plant-based version of mother's milk. So mother's milk, human mother's milk, has this incredible immune piece to it, and that immune piece is called monolaurin. And they have found monolaurin in only 2 places: mother's milk and there's a plant source for it. This is the plant source. It is antiviral, it's antifungal, it's antibacterial. So I have my patients, I've been doing this week, I take 3 scoops, 3 times a day, and it really helps to fight whatever I have. I mean, I don't know if I have a virus, I don't know if I have a bacteria, I don't know what I have, but this is a really good way of killing off any pathogen that's in there. We've used this for Candida too, for those of you that know you have Candida. The other trick with building up your immune system is, this is a product called Gold, it's Golden Seal. A lot of you know it as Echinacea Golden Seal. It's a great immune support, so I've been taking 2 of these a day. And then if you have any congestion in your chest, we use a product called SENG, and it's made specifically to loosen up phlegm. If you get that really tight chest stuff, or you have a sore throat, that's stagnant lymph. You want to get that lymph flowing out, and I use SENG for that. So 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And then the last thing I'll tell you, and this is really good for prevention as well, is that you guys know how much I love Restore on this channel. Hopefully you know Restore for the gut. They have a Restore nasal spray. So one of the things that I think I got affected with this weekend, I was at a conference, and I think the room I was in had mold. So I've been doing Restore nasal spray. What it does is it goes, you do 2 pumps in your nose, and it will improve the bacterial microbiome of your nose. So I've used this when I travel a lot, like if I get on a flight and you're in that contained air. You know, a virus, if the person next to you is sneezing and they have a virus, it will stick on dry mucosal membranes. So what I do is make sure my mucosal membranes aren't dried out. So those are my tricks, those are my hacks. That's how I hacked myself this week and what I did to boost my energy and to boost my immune system. So, you know, there's so many natural ways to fight a cold, and we just haven't been taught what they are. So ask yourself if you're depleted or if your immune system's just working on something new. Lean into fasting unless you're really tanked, but fasting is always a good option because we're like animals. Animals fast when they're ill. We should be fasting when we're ill. And then try out some of those supplements. If you have a good trick, put it in there. I'd love to know what your trick is, and if you've tried any of those tricks, let me know how you've reacted to it. But you know, we live in this time where antibiotics are not working anymore, so we really need to lean into the natural stuff and save those antibiotics for life-threatening situations. So, as always, there's my cold protocol, and I really hope that helps.